Mark Lipscomb. Right now I'm leading the people team at 23andMe. And I ran into PeopleTech. Actually, I saw an advertisement for a conference about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I can't remember. And looked up the website and was really impressed with the group, and then connected with Robbie. And we had coffee a couple weeks later, and now I've been there for a while. Really like the networking opportunity, the connection with a lot of folks that are going through similar challenges. The group email list is, by far the most fantastic forum that I've ever been a part of. I've seen a lot of different HR networking groups, and the PeopleTech group has issues that actually mean a lot that we're facing every day. And so I think a lot of folks are going through the same things around scaling culture, growing fast, doubling in size in a year to 2 years. So whether it be, everything around recruiting to compensation to if you're a private company and you're thinking about going public, or if you're a private company, how do you reward employees with equity? How do you explain it? I mean, every little question that seems to pop up on the forum is, we'll have a really good book at some point on how to be an HR leader for a fast-growing startup company. The quality of talent, and I've said this to a lot of folks. The first conference I went to, I actually, this is in no disrespect to the HR function, but having gone to HR conferences for many years, when I walked in the PeopleTech conference, I actually thought this must be the wrong place, because everybody was smiling, having fun. The topics were very applicable, as I mentioned, around culture and leadership. Because those are the things that I want to hear what other folks are doing versus, compliance and policies. I'm less interested in that. And so I think ever since day one, just the quality of folks that I've seen and met through the organization, the discussions are much richer. I come out of a PeopleTech conference or PeopleTech meeting, and I'm energized and excited to be there. For us right now, we're a private company, and we don't want to talk about going public because we don't want people thinking too much about IPO. And we want people focused on the mission. Yeah. But with that, though, a large part of our long-term compensation program is equity, and so getting people excited, focused on the mission, but also drawing people in to say there is a good story with the equity. So it's you talk about it, but you don't want to talk about it. And I know other private companies, particularly here in the Valley, are going through the same thing. I mean, equity is the currency of Silicon Valley. And so how do we explain that story, get people excited about the long-term valuation of the company, but more focused on the mission at the same time? So it's kind of this, I guess, somewhat of a paradox of, look at this great equity, but don't worry about IPO. You know what I mean? That's the challenge right now. Yeah. At the end of the day, we're kind of all friends, but we're also all competing for the same talent. And so the nice thing, though, is, I feel like the group will share a lot more and be a lot more transparent than potentially other organizations I've been a part of, where you're a little bit more reserved on what you want to share. But people are just really open to sharing, what's gone well and, quite frankly, where they screwed something up. And so, obviously, I want to learn from all those, and I'll do the same. I share, because I've screwed up a lot of things, sharing those with the group. And it's such a the talent market out here, as we all know, is kind of crazy. But yeah, we're all sharing basic. I mean, some might look from the outside and go, "Why are you crazy? You're sharing your competitive intelligence with companies that are going after the same talent you are." But I think there's just kind of this shared sense of purpose as people leaders that, we understand that. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to do what's best for our companies. So I joined 23andMe. I've been part of mission-based companies in the past. I was VP of HR at Tesla for almost 3 years, and got to work around a very interesting CEO. But what drew me to 23andMe was being mission-based, actually seeing the outcomes of what the product can do. But coming in and actually the opportunity to build a people function, not necessarily from scratch, because there were a few folks on the team before that did wonderful work for the past several years, but really to kind of take it to the next level. And so, for me, as the topic is today about servant leadership, the most important thing I do is build a great team and then serve them, and how can I make them successful, and get out of their way, frankly. That's what I do. I don't, it's the team that does all the hard work, and I always find my job of I put myself at the bottom of the org chart and look up, and my job is to serve everybody that is on the team. There's a lot of technology coming out these days, and there's a lot that can obviously add a lot of value and make our jobs easier. There's also technology that might be threatening to some folks. I mean, we talk a lot about AI. I'm also trying to remind us to talk about EI, emotional intelligence. And so I think the PeopleTech organization can do a great job of vetting the tech, but also having empathy with the technology, if that makes sense, in terms of what's this technology going to do, and then and what could it potentially do to displace workers in the future. And so I think in the Valley, we're kind of in a bubble. In the Bay Area, we're very much in a bubble. But other parts of the country where this technology could have a greater impact, not just people technology, but technology in general, on the workforce, we need to be thinking about like how can we, whether it's through retraining, and there's technology that will do that, skills training and other things to help the workforce of the future. So we're not staring back and going, wow, we have this great technology, but we've driven the unemployment rate up or something like that. And so I think, again, trying to get out of our bubble as much as we can in the Valley, and thinking about the positives and the potential consequences of this technology in the broader workforce.